morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Attacking Third. And I'm, of course, with my right-hand man, Steve Fuentes. What's up, Steve?
What's going on, brother? How we feeling?
Feeling great. Wednesday, we went through a little bit of a rough patch, but however, last night, this team found itself back in the win column. It only took only 4 minutes to get on the scoreboard with Miguel Ua. You and I, and there's a bunch of us from the press box that talked about, Ua kind of being the sneaky good player of last night's game. And he proved us all right because he got on the scoreboard. Then he came with the assist with Ty Baribo. And now with both players, 7 goals each. 7 goals each, Steve. I mean, these two were doing some damage last night, and they were continuing to bring in the pressure. I mean, this game could have fell out of hand early if they really were, and I'll credit the Red Bull defense for playing really, really good. But I mean, this could have been like a 6-0 win. I mean, you had the offense looking good in the first half.
Yeah.
Andre Blake playing well, the defense playing well, and the crossbar played a major X factor in last night's game. Why the Red Bull had 4 shots and 4 of them ricocheted off the crossbars. But Steve, first of all, what's your take from last night's game?
Boy, do we have the Red Bulls number. It feels so good because they're only 90 minutes up the road to be able to 14th straight time to be able to beat them. And you need to have moments and matches like this where you can get your confidence back for whatever sort of playoff run they're going to be able to have. And after Wednesday, it was like, okay, pack it up. Playoffs are probably out of reach. And then they go out and it's the way they won. It was an all around team performance. Andre Blake gets another clean sheet. The defense overall played well. Danley stepping up in place of Jose Martinez's absence. And then, like you said, Ua, he seems to be really finding himself since Carranza's left. And as well as Ty Baribo, he's getting his opportunity to, find himself. And he is, like, you threw out the stats there. They both have 7 goals now in MLS play. So, they're making it easy to forget players like Carranza, who, obviously you're going to miss, but the goals are there. They just need the W's now.
You bring up something very interesting because I was going to put this in a tweet, but unfortunately I can't spell. So I was going to put this in a tweet. You brought up Carranza. However, you look at the body of work that Ty Baribo has done. This summer alone. 7 goals in the Leagues Cup, 7 goals in MLS play. I mean, he stacked up 14 goals. This guy has been a playmaker. He was here. He was supposed to be here to fulfill the shoes of Carranza. He's outgrown them. And like you said, Carranza's now in the back window. And again, credit to Jim Curtin. With all the moving parts they've had, the last 2 weeks, guys getting transferred out of here, go other parts of the world. You lost Lowe, you lost Martinez, you lost some moving parts. And however, this team just stayed level-headed. This team played well. And then you mentioned about the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls collectively in the last 5 years have lost 14 games to the consistently to the Philadelphia Union. They've lost 14 games. Think about that. They haven't celebrated a W against the Union since September 22nd, 2019. That is crazy. That's crazy. I mean, and I get it, and I'm pretty sure the Red Bull fans out there who are listening to the program are going to tell you that, listen, well, we didn't have Forsberg out there. They forced Lewis Morgan to play as a forward. Yeah. Wow. We don't need to hear that anymore. Yep. But listen, the Union came to play. They showed up at your doorstep where the Red Bulls, who were up until yesterday, were undefeated. Had 7 W's at home. And then the Philadelphia Union came there and knocked them out. And, it only took them 14 minutes to put up 2 goals. So again, this Union team is starting to rock and roll. Unfortunately, though, Steve, we haven't gained ground in the standings. We didn't ground. And Charlotte, I was hoping they would do us a favor by picking up a W, but of course they laid an egg yesterday against Atlanta. So now, like I said, we're kind of in this, one play leapfrog. We're wishing that one fall apart. It sucks that this team was off to a horrible start of get it. We understand that Andre Blake was missing for a period of time. We were begging for a third string goaltender to come in and make some magic happen. I mean, look at the turnaround this team has been at. I mean, thankfully, knocking on, we are in a playoff hunt. I mean, like you and I said, middle of summer, we were looking at this team just be bottom feeders. There was no hope for this team. We were starting to lose interest in this team. It started to sound like a broken record. Come here week in and week out, talking about the same issues day in, day out. And no, this team has turned around and for the better. So again, this is you build confidence. And now, again, you get back into win column, you responded well. And then, like I said, in 2 weeks, and we're going to touch on a little later on this program, you get going to a bye, and then you get Miami, which is not going to be an easy task. But to build confidence here, to go into a break, get rest up for Miami is a good feeling.
Yeah, I always love going into a bye week with a win, and a win like this. I mentioned it earlier, at all levels, it felt like everyone, even the subs, you talk about Jim Curtin and his timely subs. And I love the fact that he's giving the new guys where in previous seasons and even earlier this season, prime example, Ty Baribo. Obviously he's learning from his mistakes of not playing these guys. Adeniran is he has started previously. He got in his first match with the Union. Danley's now gotten back-to-back starts this week, and he's gone the full distance in both. And he's giving guys opportunities to be able to make a name for themselves, trust them, to gain his trust for future matches where, Messi might be back for that match. I kept hearing all last night from the announcer that he wants to play in that match. And if he's going to be there, then it's going to be a whole different, animal down there. If he's not there, I like the way that this team is played on the road. They have more points and they have more wins on the road this season than they do at home. And how weird and like backwards is that of a stat for this Union team that what were they known for? Everyone was scared to come into Subaru Park and play there, to where this season it's been the opposite and they've been able to go out and win on the road. So I'm hoping that maybe this little stretch of 3 games on the road, you get a bye week right now in between to be able to rest up and, go in and finish the season with 3 home games and two bye games, 2 games away. So it gives you hope, right, for a playoff run. Oh no, look who it is. Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. Angry Anthony's up out of his bed. I hope it's the right side of the bed this time, not the wrong. He's usually wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I hope his bed's not wet overall.
Yeah.
That guy, he's a freak. No, I'm kidding. That's my guy. So, but no, you bring up some, again, this is the first of 3 road games for this team, which is, like you said, it's weird because history with this franchise, they're known, like you said, beating you up at home. But I don't know, with the history going along with it, they feel pressurized to play well at home. But now, like, I guess the team bonding and all that stuff comes into play where they play well on the road. I just hope they don't get sidetracked being down South Beach. South, that's one of the spots you can easily get sidetracked and forget about the game. You could be thinking about other things.
Oh man, it can get you. Nightlife, it'll get you.
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely hurt you and make you feel really good. But anyway, here goes Angry Anthony. You want to comment? He goes, Union is a weird because Union should play better at home. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. This is a better, like I said, historically wise, this is a better home team. But for some reason, they're playing better on the road, and they're getting things done as of late. So that's good. And listen, they go down to Miami. After Miami, they got a fly up, go back to New York City and get ready for NYCFC for that. So, but however, like I said, now what like you and I just talked about, we're kind of in the mixture of we gotta watch what Atlanta does. You gotta watch
Yeah.
what Toronto does. We're gonna be scoreboarding a lot. I know our man JD Walker in our group chat said yesterday, "Hey, no scoreboard warning," but why my left eye is on the game, my right eye is on that scoreboard because I do have concerns and all that stuff. Because listen, I get it. The 8th and 9th seed are playing tournament, realms, 2 out of 3s. But if you could just sneak in there, get into the dance, this team could be the most dangerous team heading in.
And that's what I think I've said it in previous shows, where it's you don't want to play a team from a city like Philadelphia in the playoffs when they're coming in on a hot streak, and let's say they can get, a play, in the first round, if they go and they do, they have to do that play-in 8-9 match, if they can get the 8 seed, that's going to be a home match. And then the first round is a home and a home, home and away. So you're going to be able to at least get one last home match for the rest of the playoffs. So you never know. And then, like I just said, they've been better on the road than they have at home. So if you can get a few games at home to build some momentum against lower tier teams like who you can beat, you can beat, to then maybe hopefully, you have something to play for. It seems like they're playing with grit. They're playing with, a purpose, like they want to play for something, improve. They have to hear all this crap from the fan base and the supporter groups and, the town hall that they had, all those things. So that's got to be in the back of their head too. And to go back to Wednesday's game against the Crew, it's not like they played bad. They had the opportunity. Oh no.
Oh,
he's doing well. Angry, like he's played. I think he's adjusted. Curtin has adjusted well to the circumstances, and I don't think there's many other coaches out there that would have been able to handle this season in his cards with all the international call-ups, all the injuries, playing without the best goalkeeper in the league for how long of the season. I think he's probably earned himself immunity in Philadelphia. As long as he wants to stay here, he's going to be the coach.
You know what? And you're right. That's what like I said, a lot of people want to be, you and I have been down there in the press conference in the press room. We've been a lot of people. The minute this team, gets through a sidetrack, goes through a rough patch, Jim Curran, the first thing gets attacked. But he never gets enough rose petals for like you said, guys getting shipped out here, turning the season around. Again, the front office. I mean, everyone wants that flashy name. Of course, when the Messias of the world show up in Miami, everybody wants that flashy name. But it's where's the Ty Baribo of the world, right? Came out of nowhere. No one was expecting this season from him. The kid they brought in from St. Louis, again, has a great deal of speed, bringing him off the bench. You make that quick tag with him and Sullivan, you can move. They're stretching the field. They're tiring out defenses. You have a lot to work with. So I get it. Like you can't hold if you want to blame some of the blame game of the season on Jim, you can. But you got to consider what this season was worth in a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, the team didn't have their starting goaltender. Look at the four. You look at hockey, right? If you don't have a star goaltender, you're as good as nothing. You don't have a star quarterback, you're not a star. Or an NBA superstar. It's or anything. In an important position, you're pretty much, you might as well put up the white flag. It's very rare. Again, I know a lot of people, will always go back to not to change sports, but always go back to that 2017, 28, Eagles season. The Eagles win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, so everyone expects for all these teams to be like that. So let's get into some of the comments. No, Angry Anthony, of course, saying something that's outrageous and crazy, but I do like it. The union need to fire their coach and hire Pat. I don't know. I'm not. Listen, you want to talk about dummy down the team? If you make that move, this team will dummy it down. Dave Yarnell checking into the show. What's up, buddy? He says, "Good morning, fellas." My man Joe Sullivan. What's up, dog? He says, "Morning, guys. Good morning, Joe." And of course, Angry Anthony goes, "Yeah, I agree, but this team could be a lot better." Yeah, it could be.
I think they're headed there. Unfortunately, the expectations for me now is if they make the playoffs, like, wow, after this season, especially the way it started, in Champions Cup, when you lose 6-0, it kind of set the tone for what this season was going to be like.
Right.
If you can somehow sneak into the playoffs with the record that they have, with the draws and the amount of losses that they've had, it's not the goal. It's not the end goal ever, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too positive when doing the show in the morning now, but
we're like learning what now?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I think you make the playoffs and whatever happens, as long as things in the off season happen. I think they're on the right track for the future.
They are. And like you said, that's I love guys getting their opportunity to go play elsewhere but in the same token, I rather that stuff, like all the leagues play and all that stuff, these guys getting out and getting shipped out, because you're taken away from the MLS season, and so again, a lot of these teams have to do that. I wish it was like after the season. Like then again, this is like in all sports, the MLS season it starts in February now and ends in December. So there's not that much of a window where you could take a break.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I'm just thrilled. I guess you and I are really thrilled with yesterday's win just because the way that they responded from Wednesday. I mean, you got shut out at home, so that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And way to go on revenge tour. So you know what, this ain't going to happen again. And you responded well. They responded to the message that was sent in the locker room, whether it was Jim Curtin, whether that was Andre Blake and such. But like you said, take this season for what it was. I mean, you gave up a 3-0 loss to Chicago 7 weeks ago, and now here you are. You're in a race for a playoff spot. So, Angry Anthony says the team needs an edge and aggressive. Listen, they are playing with a swag. They are getting aggressive. Again, Uwa stepping up yesterday. Uwa's, again. He was back in the milk carton last year. Now he's got 7 goals. You have, Ty Baribo just came a diamond in the rough, was getting very much little playing time last year. Now he's consistently in the starting lineup. He's finding the back of the net. He's stepped up for, Juan Carranza. Dan Gaza, we all know what he can do. Again, you got playmakers. As and again, we look for the flashy names, but it's not about the flashy names to me anymore. It's about the pieces that fit. And the 2 guys that they picked up, you get the Quinn Sullivans and kid Andrea from St. Louis. You got playmakers now, and you can do some things. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, guys. Check out one of our great sponsors here, right here at the Edge of Philly Sports. We're going to kick it off with Philly Sports, Cherry Injury Law.
If you get hurt at work, in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Cherry Law Firm is here to fight for you and get what you deserve. Cherry Injury Law is a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you have been seriously injured in the state of PA by the negligence of another, and if you have questions for a Westchester or media personal injury attorney, please don't hesitate to call. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. And again, that number is 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com.
We are back. All right, Steve. So I pulled up Atlanta's schedule, Toronto's schedule, and if I really needed to, I mean, they're sitting really at 1 point behind us.
I was going to say, even like the bottom from below us, from 11 down to 15. I mean, the final 7 from seed 7, 8, 9, it's going to be crazy this at the end of the season. So they're going to need a lot of help. That's the part that I think pisses a lot of people off is the help they need.
Yeah, exactly. So I got you. Tell me where you feel good about Atlanta. So they do have a couple hard ones coming up. Nashville would come up on next Saturday. That's probably a W for them. Then they have Miami on the 18th. That could be actually a W for them because they're going to be in a dog fight with us.
Yep.
But however, they got New York Red Bulls. Then they finish out September with us. They got face Montreal on October 2nd. Then they got to face the Red Bulls again at home. And then they finish out with Orlando. So that could be tough for them. That's a tough little schedule.
Yeah.
Then you look at Toronto. They got Austin. That could be tough. I think Austin's middle of the pack on the Western Conference. You have Columbus. It's going to be tough. They got Colorado. Tough.
Mm-hmm.
They got Vancouver. Vancouver's not a pushover. Chicago, that's a layup. But actually, they got a tough schedule headed. They got finished out with New York Red Bulls, and then they got Miami. But we're hoping because what did Luis Suarez say? And he said that they don't want to take any time off. They don't want to take just because they marked it a playoff spot. They don't want it. They want to continue to play at a high level. They don't want to rest players. He wants to keep on rolling with this. So I guess they don't become a slouch. So again, so Toronto looks like they got the hardest of the 3 schedules. Again, our schedule. It's right here for everyone checking in this show. It's right here at the bottom of your screen. Again, Miami is going to be tough. NYFC is going to be tough. You have DC on the 22nd. That's a layup. Atlanta, that's going to be a dogfight. And then you got Columbus Crew on the 5th, and then Cincinnati. So again, that's a tough schedule within itself.
Yeah.
So,
you just got to go out and win. Mm-hmm. Listening to the other club schedules where that's who we're going to be competing with for the playoff spot. At this, you just got to go out and win. Bare minimum, at least against teams like Miami, and NYCFC, the Crew, those guys who are at the top of the leaderboard. It's not going to make a difference with them if you go get a draw. You got to at least go get a point. The games that you should win, New England, Atlanta, Orlando. If you go win back-to-back against Atlanta and Orlando, 2 teams ahead of you, imagine what that does to you. And that's what I mean with you. They can do it. They've done it all season. They did it in Leagues Cup against Cincinnati. So it's, that's the thing that pisses people off is everyone knows they can go out and perform and have matches like last night, but they also know that they can roll over and have matches like against the Crew. So you never know what you're going to get out of them.
No, and you're right. You don't know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. So, but, and again, look at the schedule here. There are some, couple games twice in a week. You do have, the 22nd, the 20th, obviously so you got a couple ones in a week, but, like I said, they could just handle their own and really they control their own destiny. They really do. Here goes one from Anger Anthony. I think Anger Anthony says, Union can go undefeated with this cupcake schedule. Now, Anger Anthony must woke up on the right side of the bed. He must be eating breakfast, just T-shirt on. That's it. No underwear. He's going full command to walk around in the kitchen. But yeah, listen, I'm not that confident. I want to be that confident. I'm getting more confident with Andre Blake. I feel better that he's back, and the level he's been playing at right now is untouchable. Man, I didn't get a chance to pull up the stat, but if you can, there's a way. I want to know how many games since he's been back, how many shutouts. I think this might be his 4th or 5th off the top. think,
get it.
yeah, I think off the
Because
top of
he
my
came
head,
back. He came back against Toronto.
early.
The match against New England with Philly won 5-1. So
Yeah.
since he's been back, so they've 5-1 to New England. So he only gave up 1 goal in his return. Nashville shutout, Charlotte shutout in Leagues Cup. So 2 shutouts. Shutout Montreal in the round of 32. So there's 3. Shutout, and then last night. So 4. So 4 shutouts since Andre Blake's been back. But
Wow.
there's been multiple matches where he's only given up 1 goal. So that's the difference between if 1 goal gets by Andre Blake, okay, that must have been a hell of a shot, right? Compared to when Zemla and Rick were giving up goals, it was like, oh man, like how many times did you see him just whiff? You never felt confident. Once 1 got by him, you knew the rest of them were going to get by him. So
Yeah.
it's a difference of confidence level for everyone involved when Andre Blake is in net.
And you're right. Look, Simler only had 1 shutout. I thought that was going to be like a turning point in his career against. Again, that was New England. So I mean, look, I got 9 kids on my street who beat New England. So, but
I loved him too. We talked him up like he was like,
oh my God,
Blake, number 2. We were so wrong on that.
Yes. Guy, and he's got like a 6'5", 6'6" frame. I stood next to him in the locker rooms. I mean, the kid's tall, but I thought elevate that, and then because he didn't have that command of the defense.
No,
the defense is actually really, really solid. So again, and like Angry Anthony says, he goes, Pat, as long as defense plays good, they can win. Listen, last night wasn't the defense. I mean, some of the defense was pretty decent, but again, the crossbars in that second half played a major role. I mean, things were getting hit. The top was, the crossbars, the set, on the sides. I mean, it was crazy yesterday.
And that's what was frustrating on Wednesday, because Ty and Quinn both had chances and early in the first half, and they both went off the post. And once this is kind of like to add to the conversation we had before the commercial, other squads have someone like Diego Rossi or Hernandez coming off the bench. Once they came in the second half for the Crew, it was a wrap, because there was no, you brought in Uwa and you brought in Sullivan as our big subs compared to Rossi and Hernandez. It's just, you're going to be able to beat the Red Bulls like that, but you're not going to be able to beat the big boys like Cincinnati, Columbus, Miami, even on their bench, because it was Crew's bench that outshined our bench that night. And so that's what pisses people off too is, Ty Baribo's playing great now, but if he gets hurt, who do you have to replace him? And that's what makes me upset too, is you got to at least go out and sign some depth as well to help keep these guys motivated when someone has to go down.
Yeah, and you're right. It's hold on. And of course, Anger Anthony's he's ringing the text board here. He goes, Pat's not a Union fan. He's a Seattle fan. What's with everybody thinking I'm not a Philadelphia sports fan? We got, these 2 clowns in here. They think I'm a Niners fan. I got, Anger Anthony thinks I'm a Seattle Sanders fan. Everyone thinks I'm not.
Are you from the West Coast?
Because I'm from, Mayfair, and a great man who runs it, the mayor of Mayfair. We just keep things honest, and automatically we get put. I mean, I'm a little bit more of a flip flop, but no, that's a different story. But anyway. So, but look, however, great stuff. But let me ask you, Steve, you were there Wednesday after the loss. What was Jim Curtin's message? What was the body of work in the locker room when we were interviewing the players? Mm-hmm. What was that all like? And could you feel that last night was going to be a difference maker?
So the first thing I noticed Wednesday was the complete opposite energy level that they had from when they played the Crew in Leagues Cup. In Leagues Cup, they sat back and they wanted to. They knew they were kind of outmatched on paper, and so they did their typical let's play defense and hope our counter attack and the deep ball, let's lob it up on the counter attack, let's hope that we can go out and get a goal that way. And the Crew brought it straight to them, to where Wednesday night it was the complete opposite, and they had their chances. And the first thing Jim said in his opening statement was, we wanted to get at them early. We wanted to bring the energy to them, and they did. They just, what does he always say? We were just unlucky tonight. So, yeah. And they were. It hit the post, and maybe it was the universe last night with how many times the Red Bulls hit the post. Maybe it was the universe kind of like aligning itself, saying like, "Hey, sorry for Wednesday," whatever. But they had their chances, but when you bring in guys, and Curtin said it too, when they bring in guys like Rossi and Hernandez, we knew that they were going to bring them in. We wanted to get on top of them early, and they couldn't. But he was happy with what Sullivan brought to the table on Wednesday. He was everywhere. He was creating chances. He's always speaking highly of Baribo. Uwa made himself available in the locker room afterwards, and he was down, but he wasn't down in the sense of how they were early in the season. He was, no, we just got to go out there and we just got to perform. And once the ball goes in the back of the net, things will start changing. And it was kind of fitting that he was the guy who kind of set the tone last night for them in getting the first goal. And it was kind of weird too, because him and Ty, their goals were almost in the identical same spot on the field where they went, where they attacked the goalie. So it was the bottom left-hand corner of the goal. So did they see something in the scouting report that, the Red Bulls goalie, that's a weak spot for him? So whatever it was, they went to the drawing board after what they saw from the Crew. He liked it enough that he went back out there and trusted his guys, and they responded exactly what they wanted to do Wednesday. They got unlucky. They hit the post a few times. They were able to go out last night and they put in the back of the net instead of hitting the post.
And there were, like, last night's goals were, distant. I mean, look at the window. I mean, between two defenders. I mean, Uwa came through with a goal. Ty Baribo, a little bit of distance shot, made a nice goal. So, guys, listen, we're going to continue the conversation. Of course, guys, you saw the Philadelphia Union fans traveled out to Newark, New Jersey to go watch the Philadelphia Union take care of business. And you know how they got there? Probably more than likely through Philadelphia Sports Trips.
If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. If you want to travel with the pros, then go to phillysportstrips.com. Philly Sports Trips features premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans, ever, the Philadelphia sports fan. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights for Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and even the Union. They even offer day trips for more local games. Go to phillysportstrips.com, sign up immediately, and tell them EOP sent you. Do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2024 season, including the Brazil trip week 1. Jump on it now before you lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com and don't miss the next great Philly sports moment.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we have to talk about Miami now. Because, I mean, as good as I feel, I do have this on the calendar as a loss. So, but I don't know. After last night, I'm feeling pretty good. Listen, Miami, we all know. I mean, for even the casual fans who just know soccer, they all know Messi. They know that this guy is the LeBron James of soccer. Whatever, he's the name, he's the face of MLS. He's the some people consider him the GOAT. This is a well-stacked team, and however, the Philadelphia Union, like last night, went up against a undefeated homestand New York Red Bull team, and they shattered that. Steve, can they go into South Beach and rock Messier and those guys down there?
I guess it's going to determine if he's going to play. I think when you have someone of his stature and just his reputation alone, a lot of these guys grew up, that's his idol. And
Yeah.
you have faced them multiple times already, but there's some new faces on this squad now. You got a young kid like Danley. Sam hasn't gone up against Messi in this atmosphere against Miami versus Philly sort of atmosphere. So I hope that doesn't play a factor into anything. I hope that Bedoya and Gazdag and the guys who have been through this a few times are able to help get those guys' head right. The one thing that worries me about this game is again, the Union with all these international players that they have who represent their country. Some of them got a call up. So it's a perfect time for a bye week so that they're able to do that. But I just hope that with the travel and how many minutes that they get with their country, Blake's got called up to Jamaica. Gazdag got called up to Hungary. Baribo to Israel. Cavan to USA. So a lot of these guys are getting the opportunity, which good for them. But again, that's this club's biggest problem is these guys leave for a good amount of time and then they got minutes under them for their country. How well and how gassed are they going to be for back to MLS play? So those kind of things that I'm looking at that on the outside, I think they're capable of beating. I think they're capable of beating anybody in this league. It's just first, who are you going to be able to field? And then two, what type of performance are you going to get out of this club? If Uwa can come out and Baribo, if he's available, if they can come out and get ahead of them early, you said it in the group chat. What are they going to be? How do they win? They got to get on top of them early. They got to set the tone early. Throughout the season, when the Union have set the tone early, they are able to go out there and then play their style of soccer. When they can't go out there and play their style of soccer and they have to adjust to what circumstances now they're in, if they're down 1-0 or they're in a defensive battle. So it's really going to depend on who's available and what type of team they're going to be able to field when they do play on the 14th.
Yeah, and like you said, these guys, key players too, are going to be getting pull-offs. And like, I think these guys, if anything, I'm going to, again, try to stay positive, or they're going to pick up stuff from what they see from over there and bring it back over here. And maybe they can bring something that Miami might not have seen before and hit them with it. Also, like the last time the first time was last year when it was Leagues Cup, when Messier came through. I mean, I think like half the team got starstruck. I mean, I don't think the Bedoyas of the world are going to get, it's going to be an honor for most of these guys just to be on the same field as him if he's playing.
Yeah. But
I don't think that these guys, with the Bedoyas of this world, say, hey, listen, guys, we just got to stay key. Don't get starstruck. Don't be sidetracked. Because, like you said, like you said, that man is, when you think, obviously, if you football, you think Tom Brady, or if you think basketball, you think LeBron. The names of the world. You think hockey, you think Ovechkin or Crosby, whatever. Now, Connor McDavid kind of took over that. But anyway, like when you think, he's that name. He's the name of the, he's the face of the franchise of the, of MLS. So yeah. I just hope this team doesn't get starstruck. And again, this team, if they can strike, if they draw first blood, they'll let it continue to leak. And I hate to sound Rambo-ish, but let them do what they got to do. That's what that's what I saw yesterday. If they get on first, just continue on the attack.
Yeah.
They're getting their heads. Don't let South Beach come a distraction. The city alone. Don't let Messier become a distraction. Don't let any of them just And I think with Jim Kearney, it's going to let them look, stay to your game. We've been through this. Some of you guys been through this rodeo before. Just continue doing your thing. And I think that's why, again, they gave Bedoya another, year, because, he's built for this kind of stuff. So let me quickly get into a commercial break. Again, guys, check out one of our great sponsors here. Here goes. sherrystickets.com. Guys, if you're looking to go purchase, go to an event, maybe you want to go on the road, anywhere, hit up sherrytickets.com.
Great moments don't just happen, they happen with you in the crowd. sherrystickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, play more with sherrystickets.com and get the tickets you want. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10 and share an experience that will live on. Don't pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, don't overpay with the rest and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. For that next great moment, save 10% by using the promo code EOP10. Great moments start at Sherry'sTickets.com.
That's right. Well, Steve, before we close out the show and get ready, let's go around the horn as far as MLS play. Tonight is I usually like the Sunday night, anything Sunday night, sports related. But tonight's not a great of a game. You got LA Galaxy, who shocked a lot of people, who's taken the Western Conference by storm in that 1 seed. We'll be facing St. Louis tonight. St. Louis is a bottom basement team that's barely surviving. So not much interest for me. But last night, Steve, let's get into some of the scores around here. One score, that really caught me, the champions, Columbus Crew, again, playing at a high level, handled things at home against NYCFC, winning 4-2. Steve, you got a score that caught your eye.
That one definitely was, but the Orlando-Nashville score, 3-0. Nashville isn't even given, again, I hate that the Union are in the situation that they need help from other people and other teams, but man, I was really thinking that Nashville maybe, but to go back to Columbus, they haven't skipped a beat from all the games that they have played. They're the reigning champs. They go win Leagues Cup, and then they come right back to MLS play and continue. They're just, it's frustrating how well-oiled of a machine they are and how much depth they have. I'm jealous.
Yeah, and what a surprise by Nashville heading to, not even a playoff team. Just, I don't know, with a player like Mukhtar, I don't get it.
Yeah. They got a few guys too.
Yeah. Terrible. Here goes 1-2. The upset of the night, DC heading in Toronto, winning 3-1 over there. DC just, shocking the world, pulling the upset of the night. Thoughts on that, Steve?
Much needed for us. Much needed for the Union to have that help. And they were all bench. They were all bench players who came in for DC to score those 3 goals. So good for them. And it sucks because now they're right below the Union. So that game on the 22nd is going to be huge for the standings wise because of how close they are now in the standings to the Union.
Yeah. And another surprising one, Houston stealing a W to a victory in LA. 2-0 win themselves over LAFC. Your
Sounders lost 1-0.
yeah. Apparently my Sounders lost too. I clean sheets yesterday. And of course Charlotte poops the bed, doesn't do us any favors.
Nope.
So, but yeah, that's some of the big takeaways we've got around the board yesterday. Steve, again, not much going on today as far as MLS plays for the Philadelphia Union, but however, we will, the team will be back in 2 weeks. What's your big key takeaway heading into this break?
Danley. I absolutely love his style of play. He's not trying to come in and replace Martinez because you're not going to replace Martinez, but he's coming in. He's confident. Curtin is giving him the minutes. He's gotten back-to-back starts. The way he gets fast breaks going with his passes, and they're articulate passes. He's catching the defenders in bad positions to set up Uwa and Ty. he's built now. He's got 2 games of chemistry with the club. Go on a bye week, get some, more chemistry in training to be able to come out and have hopefully a good performance against Miami. But I'm a fan of his. I watched him all last game, all Wednesday night. So I'm really excited about him moving forward.
Oh, absolutely. Quick comments real fast. Angry Andy says, Pat drinks too much coffee and too much bowls. Hey, easy now.
You forgot the red there. Oops.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's red. He's red in other places. He goes, Angry Andy goes, Pat's upset. Yes. I couldn't get out of bed this morning because I couldn't stop thinking about the Seattle Sounders losing last night. But, yeah, my takeaway is, listen, good win. Like you said, head into the break, regroup, refresh, and stay focused. For Jim, come up with an A plan if your guys are not ready. Have plan B in content for Miami, and have something up your sleeve that they haven't seen before. So, Steve, for you and I, we are out of here. Guys, thank you, everyone who's checked into the show. We appreciate all the love and support. Guys, if this is your first time checking our show out, smash that, go on Edge of Foot Sports, hit that YouTube, hit that subscribe button, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, whatever you need. Hit it. We are everywhere on social media. Guys, thank you so much. We are out of here.